Welcome back, everyone, for another deep dive. And this time, we're looking at someone that you might not know by name, but you've definitely heard her work.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
We're talking Amy Allen.
Amy Allen.
A Grammy-winning songwriter who's penned hits for artists like Harry Styles, Selena Gomez, and Halsey.
Yeah, it's fascinating because she isn't just behind the scenes. She's also a producer.
Wow.
And a performer, and recently made history as the first woman to win the Grammy for Songwriter of the Year non-classical.
Oh, wow. That's incredible.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It really makes you wonder, like, what has her journey been like?
Okay.
What makes her such a sought-after collaborator?
Yeah.
So to kind of get into all that, we are diving into her Wikipedia page, a YouTube interview, and a playlist intro on Apple Music.
I love it.
Yeah. So it seems like music has been a part of her life, really, like from the very beginning.
Oh, absolutely, from the very beginning.
Starting with bass in her sister's bluegrass band at 9 years old.
Wow.
And then she was writing songs by 10.
That's amazing.
I mean, imagine that collaborating and performing live before most kids are even thinking about their future careers.
Right. Like most kids are still trying to figure out what they want for breakfast.
Exactly.
And she's already like on stage.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Those early experiences must have had such a huge impact on her approach to songwriting.
Oh, absolutely. Like it really shapes who you become as a musician, for sure.
Yeah, and, she's obviously taken it very seriously because the Wikipedia article mentions that she'd written thousands of songs before her first one was even released. I mean, thousands.
Thousands. It's incredible.
Yeah.
It really highlights that 10,000 hours concept.
Yeah.
Talent is one thing, but that kind of dedication is essential in any creative field.
Right.
And speaking of dedication,
yeah,
did you know that she actually started out studying biochemistry?
Oh, wow. I had no idea.
Yeah.
What prompted that switch to music?
Well, in the YouTube interview, she shares this hilarious story about passing out during a graphic birth scene in Twilight.
Oh, my God.
Apparently, that's when she realized nursing wasn't for her.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Okay, so a very hands-on experience that told her what she didn't want to do.
Yeah.
It's kind of refreshing, actually. It shows that even Grammy winners have these relatable moments of self-discovery.
Absolutely. Like, it really humanizes the journey.
Yeah.
And speaking of the journey,
the
interview also kind of dives into her initial anxieties about navigating the LA music scene.
Oh, right.
Which, I mean,
I can imagine.
That's a notoriously tough industry, especially for someone who, as the interview revealed, really values kindness and genuine connection.
Yeah.
Like that really came through in the interview.
Yeah, and that makes her relationship with her mentor, Scott Harris, even more interesting.
Yeah.
Because he's known for emphasizing those same values.
Totally.
Prioritizing good character in his collaborations.
Absolutely. It suggests she really sought out an environment that aligned with her personal values, which is pretty insightful.
Yeah.
Especially in an industry that's often focused on cutthroat competition.
Exactly. So, it makes you wonder if that's part of what draws artists to work with her.
Right.
It's not just about the hits. It's about the human connection.
I think that's a huge part of it, for sure.
Yeah. But before we get too deep into that, I'm kind of curious, like, how she even broke into the industry in the first place.
Okay.
Like, how did she find her manager?
It's actually a testament to putting your work out there.
Yeah?
Even in unexpected ways.
Okay.
So her cousin posted her music on Facebook.
Wow.
And 2 years later, a freelance A&R rep that's someone who scouts talent for record labels reached out.
Wow.
So wild.
What are the chances?
I know.
It really shows that sometimes it is about being in the right place at the right time and having a little help from your family.
Yeah, a little bit of luck.
Yeah.
But also the talent has to be there, too.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Luck aside, there's no denying her talent. So let's talk about some of those early songs that really put her on the map.
Okay, let's do it.
The Wikipedia article mentions Selena Gomez's Back to You and Halsey's Without Me.
Those are big ones.
Huge.
Yeah, those were more than just early wins. They weren't just catchy. They demonstrated a deep understanding of crafting pop music.
Yeah.
That's both commercially successful and emotionally resonant.
Right.
Back to You perfectly captures that longing for a lost love.
Yeah.
With its simple yet effective lyrics.
Right.
And then Without Me builds this incredible emotional tension.
Wow.
using contrasting vocal melodies.
That's really interesting. I never thought about it that way.
Yeah.
It sounds like she's not just writing songs, she's crafting experiences.
100%.
Yeah, and the Wikipedia article points out she hasn't just stuck to pop either.
Right.
She's written hits across multiple genres, pop, country, even dance.
Yeah.
It really speaks to her versatility as a songwriter.
Totally, because not every songwriter
Right.
can seamlessly adapt their style to different genres and artists.
It's like she has this chameleon-like ability to blend in while still leaving her own unique mark on each song.
For sure.
And this detail from the Apple Music playlist intro just blows my mind.
Okay, what is it?
She's actually friends with many of the artists she collaborates with.
Really?
Think Sabrina Carpenter, Tate McRae, and even Harry Styles. I mean,
wow.
Those aren't just working relationships. Those are genuine friendships.
It must be so nice to work with your friends.
Right.
I mean, what a dream.
I bet that level of trust and mutual respect has a huge impact on the music.
Absolutely. It just brings another layer of authenticity to it.
Totally. And speaking of Harry Styles,
yeah,
their collaboration on Adore You is such a fun, upbeat track.
It's so good.
In the YouTube interview,
yeah,
Alan's mom even jokes about being relieved to finally hear a happy song from her.
Oh, that's great.
It's funny because she was initially known for writing those darker, more melancholic songs.
Right.
But Adore You really showcases her ability to tap into an artist's playful side.
Totally.
It's a great example of how she's not afraid to experiment and explore different emotional palettes.
For sure, yeah. And I think that speaks to her growth as a songwriter as well.
Yeah.
You know, being able to embrace those different emotions and really kind of capture that.
Exactly. And it makes sense considering how much she values staying true to herself.
Right.
And the artist that she's working with.
Yeah.
But how does she approach the actual songwriting process?
Okay.
What makes an Amy Allen song?
Well, in the YouTube interview, she talks about the importance of creating dynamic melodies.
Okay.
Especially for dance-oriented songs like Tate McRae's Greedy.
Oh, wow.
She even considers movement when writing.
Really?
Aiming to create something that makes you want to move your body.
Wow, so she's thinking about how the song will make people physically feel.
Yes.
Not just what it sounds like.
Exactly.
That's so cool.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, and speaking of interesting inspiration, there's this amazing story behind Rosé and Bruno Mars's hit, Apt.
Oh yeah, tell me about it. So it all started with a Korean drinking game Alan was learning about.
Wow.
It's incredible how she finds inspiration in the most unexpected places.
Right.
Of course, it takes a collaborative spirit to recognize the potential in something like that. And, you know, she even credits her co-writer Theron Thomas for catching the hook.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
It really highlights how collaboration can spark something amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's not just about being open to inspiration. It's also about trusting your gut.
Oh, yeah.
In that same YouTube interview, Alan mentions that she avoids listening to contemporary pop radio.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Why is that?
I was wondering that too.
Okay.
But she doesn't want to feel pressured to chase trends or conform to what's popular at the moment.
That makes sense.
Right.
It's about staying true to her own vision.
Yeah.
And not getting caught up in what everyone else is doing.
It makes you wonder how she stays so grounded, especially in an industry that can be so focused on, like, what's hot right now.
Right. It's easy to get swept up in all of that.
Does that ever worry her?
She addresses this directly in the interview. And she says,
Yeah.
You have to love music more than you ever would think you'd have to love anything.
Wow.
It's about passion over trends.
That's such a powerful statement.
Yeah, it really is.
And it really shines through in her work.
Absolutely.
But we've mainly been focusing on her songwriting for other artists.
Right.
Why the decision to return to her own artist career?
Okay.
Was it a way to explore those sounds she avoids on the radio?
The YouTube interview shed some light on this.
Okay.
It wasn't about fame or proving anything.
Yeah.
It was about preserving her own emotional experiences.
I see.
Yeah.
There's even a clip where she describes her songwriting process for her own music.
Oh, wow.
It's fascinating.
What did she say?
She approaches it like writing poetry, prioritizing honesty and a cohesive narrative over crafting a catchy chorus.
Interesting. So it's more about storytelling.
Yeah.
Than it is about, like, creating a hit song.
It's like she's creating a world for the listener to step into a journey to go on.
That's beautiful.
And it's clear that she's committed to making that world as authentic as possible.
Yeah, authenticity is so important.
She even mentions that her manager, Gab, knows it's a struggle for her to carve out time for her own music with her busy schedule.
Right. I mean, she's in high demand.
Yeah.
It must be tough to balance everything.
But it's clearly a priority for her.
Yeah.
She even turns down sessions until she's mentally and emotionally ready to create.
Wow. That takes a lot of discipline.
That level of self-awareness is impressive.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like she's protecting her creative energy, ensuring that when she does step into that artist role, it's with intention and purpose.
Absolutely. It's about quality over quantity.
Speaking of intention, can we talk about that espresso parody from SNL?
Oh, yeah, that was hilarious.
It went viral.
It did. It was everywhere.
It's a great example of how a song can resonate with audiences on multiple levels.
Right. It was funny, but it also had that catchy melody.
Espresso itself is this blend of confidence and self-awareness, which is something we hear in a lot of her work, including our own song, Unafraid.
Oh, Unafraid. That's a great song.
That's one of my favorites.
It's so raw and powerful.
In the YouTube interview, she talks about how Unafraid just poured out of her almost like it was channeling a higher force.
It's amazing how some songs just arrive fully formed.
Right.
Like gifts from the creative muse.
She even compares it to Tom Petty's Wildflowers, which was also written in a single inspired burst.
It's incredible.
The emotion in Unafraid is palpable. You can hear it in her voice and the rawness of the performance.
Yeah, it's a song that stays with you long after the music fades.
It's a reminder of the power of vulnerability, of allowing yourself to be open and honest in your art.
Absolutely.
And it's a quality that shines through in all of Alan's work, both as a songwriter and as an artist.
I agree, whether she's crafting a catchy pop anthem or a soul-stirring ballad. There's always a layer of emotional honesty, a depth of feeling that connects with listeners on a visceral level.
It's what makes her music so relatable, so resonant.
And it's why she continues to inspire both audiences and fellow artists alike.
It really is remarkable how she manages to balance those two sides of her career.
Yeah, and that's something that comes up a few times in the YouTube interview.
Okay.
The interviewer asks about other songs that came as easily as Unafraid.
Oh, right.
And Alan mentions a song called Break.
Break?
It was written in just 10 minutes, and the final recording you hear is almost entirely from the original voice memo.
Oh, wow. That's incredible. To capture that raw energy and translate it into a finished song is no easy feat.
It really speaks to her confidence as a songwriter, but also to the strength of the song itself.
Yeah.
It's like the song already existed. She just had to get it out.
Yeah, it's like those 10 minutes were just pure creative flow. You know, no overthinking, no second guessing, just pure expression. It's inspiring, honestly.
It really is.
It makes you realize that sometimes the best songs are the ones that come from that raw, unfiltered place.
Absolutely.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of Amy Allen, what stands out to you? What's the biggest takeaway?
For me, it's her unwavering dedication to her craft. Whether she's writing for herself or for other artists, she approaches every project with intention and authenticity.
Yeah.
And that's something to admire, especially in an industry that can be so focused on trends and fleeting fame.
I completely agree. She's not chasing clout. She's following her passion, and that shines through in everything she does, from the way she collaborates to her commitment to carving out time for her own music. It's clear that music is more than just a job for her. It's a way of life.
It really is. And it's a life that she's built on her own terms.
Yeah.
She's not afraid to go against the grain, to trust her gut, and to prioritize the things that matter most to her.
Right.
And in doing so, she's not just creating amazing music, she's inspiring a whole generation of artists to do the same.
That's a great point. Her story is a reminder that success doesn't have to look a certain way. It's about finding your own path, staying true to your vision, and never losing sight of what you love.
Beautifully said. I think that's a perfect note to end on.
I think so too. So to wrap up our deep dive into the world of Amy Allen, I'm left with this sense of awe and a renewed appreciation for the power of music. Her journey is a testament to the fact that with hard work, dedication, and a whole lot of heart, you can achieve anything you set your mind to. And who knows, maybe you'll even inspire others along the way.
Maybe we'll all be inspired to pick up an instrument or write down some lyrics. You never know where that creative spark might lead.
Exactly. So keep exploring, keep creating, and never be afraid to dive deep into the music that moves you. Until next time.